I reiterate my point, not just to us sitting here, but to every person who sees this khutbah and sermon around the world. This is a call of action. We cannot help our brothers and sisters physically over there. We cannot do so for many reasons. In fact, what is even more painful, we cannot even raise funds that will reach them. Right now, I'm sorry to be blunt with you, nobody can raise funds, and actually, you can raise funds, it won't reach them right now. Right now, I just spoke with my own organizations and agencies, there is a blockade. There is an international blockade. You cannot give baby powder to babies. You cannot give medicine to children. You want to talk about inhumanity? This is the inhumanity. Raise as much funds as you want. Right now, it will not reach them. Don't be discouraged to raise funds. Raise funds. When the blockade is lifted, that will come immediately. But understand what I'm saying. As we speak, no food parcel can be delivered to Gaza. No aid can go to Gaza. Nothing can go there. So what can we do? Sisters and brothers, there are two wars going on right now. There's a war of bodies over there. And that's something we cannot do except make dua to Allah. But there's another war, a war of the minds, a war of the media, a war of perception, a war of influence. And I say bluntly and boldly, we have to be involved in this other war. Now I know Fox is going to take this clip. Memory, which is the Joseph Goebbels of our times, will take this 10-second clip and twist it and say I'm calling for war. So that I say clearly and unequivocally, the war that I'm calling for is not a Sharia-based influence. This is not radical jihad. What I'm calling for is for us to stand up and be quintessentially American, be a part of the democratic process, be a part of campaigning, be a part of media influencing, be a part of public perception. This is the war that I'm calling for. I'm not calling for any violence. I'm calling for us to understand there's a reason why some interests are being served and others are not. And we cannot be silent. This is our country in the end of the day. And enough is enough with the lies and the propaganda and the smear campaigns for decades against innocent people. We of this land have the exact same rights and the exact same privileges as all other people. And if we unite together, not only as Muslims, but as all people of all different backgrounds, and we say to our leaders in Canada, in Australia, in England, and yes, in America, enough is enough. If we stand together and we make sure that our own tax dollars are not sent overseas when our own country lags behind, if we educate our fellow American citizens, we have given $250 billion. Do you know how much that is? It is simply astronomical. $250 billion in military aid and in monetary aid to one small country that is perpetually at war with its own civilian population. Enough is enough. Muslims, people of all faiths, why should my tax dollars go overseas? Forget who's right and wrong. I have a right, and you have a right to petition, to demand, to elect people who serve our interests. I have a right that my money is spent not to build prison walls over there, but to build schools over here. Not to send bombs to kill over there, but to build better hospitals to cure over here. Why should I spend billions of my tax dollars over there when our country is lagging behind in education, in healthcare? Spread the word, spread the campaign, and slowly but surely we can bring about a mass sympathy to simple realities. Our tax dollars are more deserving to be spent here than getting involved in a global conflict over there. Sisters and brothers, we do have enough people, especially in other Western lands. In America, we're still a little bit behind, but in Canada and England and Australia, the Muslims have enough quantity to really influence. In France, they most definitely do, but unfortunately things are as they are. Here in America as well, there is a global movement beginning that understands why should we spend billions every year, billions overseas, when there's so much to be spent over here. So yes, this is a call to action and a call to war, not physical war, a war of the mind, a war of the tongue, a war of the intellect, and every one of us needs to be a foot soldier. Every one of us us, because this is a long-term battle. It might take decades. We might not see victory today, but if every single one of us begins influencing the people around us, inshallah, a change can be made. And we need allies. This isn't a Muslim cause. This isn't an Arab cause. This is a human cause. It is true to state, even if you take religion out, even if you take ethnicity out, this is a human cause. So we appeal to all people, people of no faith. We appeal to Christians. See how Christians are being treated in that land. We appeal to members of the Jewish faith who have conscience, who believe in the God of Abraham, who know from history what persecution means, and especially to our Jewish brethren and sisters who understand this reality. I have visited Auschwitz and Dachau. I have visited the death camps. I have heard directly from Jewish survivors of the Holocaust. I have seen a person take his hand and show me the tattoo that the Nazis have done. There's a picture of that in the New York Times. And I see what hate can do. But I say loudly and clearly to my Jewish brethren, you cannot invoke the memory of a Holocaust to inflict another potential Holocaust on innocent victims. And it is heartening to see so many in the Jewish faith understand this. There's an organization called Jewish Voice for Peace, which is asking for human rights for Palestinians. There are many ultra-Orthodox rabbis who are opposed to the political program of Zionism. We Muslims need to ally with them, take lessons from them, and join hands with Christians, Jews, people of no faith to clamor for a human rights issue in this area. Muslims, the path ahead might be long and treacherous. The path ahead might be full of some setbacks. Today, as we speak, Allahu A'lam what's going to happen to our brothers and sisters in Gaza. But the long-term war is not judged by one battle. We might lose a few battles. May Allah protect and may Allah forgive and may Allah bless. We might lose battle today, but the war in the long term is going to be won. The war of minds, the war of truth, the war of justice. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly says in the Quran that the truth shall always prevail over falsehood. جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. The truth has come and batil has been vanquished, and the truth shall always destroy falsehood. Put our trust in Allah. Look forward in the long run. Realize long-term victory might have some setbacks, but if every one of us gets involved, if every one of us does our part, if every one of us gets involved in the war of the minds and the war of the intellect and the war of the media, insha'Allah ta'ala, insha'Allah, in our own lifetimes, we will see the change of tide having completely gone. And that is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah's promise is never going to be vanquished. Sisters and brothers, in the salah today, we're going to follow the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the second rak'ah and make dua qunut for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Allahumma inni da'in fa'aminu. Allahumma la tad'a fi hadha al-yawmi dhamman illa ghafarta, wa la hamman illa farajta, wa la daynan illa qadayta, wa la maridan illa shafayta, wa la asiran illa yassarta. Allahumma ighfir lana wa li ikhwanina alladhina sabaquna bil iman, wa la taj'al fi qulubina ghillan lil ladhina amanu. Rabbana innaka ra'ufur rahim. Allahumma ansur ikhwanana al-mustad'afina fi Palestine ya Allah. Allahumma ansur ikhwanana fi Gaza ya Allah. Allahumma ansurhum ala aduwika aduwwihim يا قوي يا عزيز. عباد الله، إن الله تعالى يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه يزد لكم ولذكر الله تعالى أكبر. وأقم الصلاة.